Are we ready? Are we ready? That's more like it. One more time. Are we ready? Okay, my name is Anthony Leung and your MC for the event. I want to start off by saying that I am proud to be Asian. The theme today is United in Action with Asians. I'm proud to be standing here today united with all of you beautiful people. Please remember that this is a COVID-safe event. Please wear masks and social distance at all times. The restrooms are also available around the corner in the parking lot in front of the library. On behalf of the organizers, I would like to welcome some of our sponsors, supporters, elected officials, community leaders, including our very own Anders Fong, our council member and leader of Millbrae, our Supervisor, Board of Supervisors President David Canapa, our Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis. We have our entire Millbrae City Council, Mayor Schneider, Annie Oliva, Gina Pappin, Ruben Holliber. We also have Mayor Cunningham, Mayor Ann O'Brien, Ricardo Ortiz, Harbor Commissioner Virginia Girali. We also have Toystown Association President Ma. We have the Oakland, Chinatown Chamber of Commerce, Carl Chan, just to name a few. Oh my gosh. And Supervisor Pine, oh my gosh. And Sheriff Carlos Polanos. I am adding more to the list. If I missed any of you, don't worry. We'll give you Anders will make sure to give you a proper introduction. We are first going to hear from our speakers. Then we are going to be marching from City Hall down Broadway, down to El Camino, and then back here to City Hall, where we will listen to what our leaders and community leaders have to say. At this time, I'd like to bring our invited guests on stage, which they are already here. Wow, look at that. Oh, and Senator Becker, thank you for joining us. I'd like to introduce our community leader, our lead organizer, and your Millbrae City Council member, Anders Fong.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anders Fong, and I am an Asian American. Some of you in the audience might know me as a council member here in Millbrae. But today, I am not just speaking from the position of my office. I'm speaking as an Asian American immigrant with an Asian American family who's with me today. My wife, Margaret, my two children, Adrian and Anderson. I wanted to first recognize a few organizations here who are standing shoulder to shoulder with all of us here today. The East Bay Toystown Association, thank you for joining us. The Peninsula Chinese Business Association, and I got Johnny DeRosa, president right here. Thank you very much for joining us. We've got Millbrae Cultural Committee, and I think Nian Hua, president, is in here somewhere. Thank you. We also got Millbrae Anti-Racist Coalition help advertising the event and bringing everybody together, joining all of us here. And the many people of Millbrae, all of you, our city, our county, and our state official, and all of our volunteers today standing together with the AAPI community to say no to violence. I want to thank all of you to come together to support all of us. This is a momentous day for the Asian American here in our town and across the entire Bay Area. And I want to let you know that your hard work is highly appreciated. The recent horror we've all seen and read about needs no introduction. We've all seen the videos, the statistics, and the police report. And for me, it only confirmed one thing, that my community, our community, is under attack and we will not stand for it. With every new account of violence against Asian Americans, whether it's in New York, in Atlanta, or here at home, the situation grows sharper and our resolve grows stronger. Too often when we face these attacks, our reaction is to retreat to our own camps. However, the histories of this country have shown that the conditions of marginalized people rarely improve in isolation. Rather, in this nation's brightest moments, coalitions of communities such as this have worked towards the same ends of equality and justice. The Asian American and the Pacific Islander community cannot fight this current onslaught of violence alone. We need all of you. The past showed too clearly that what fighting alone leads to. The Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, the Los Angeles lynching of 1871, and the Japanese internment of 1942 that is still in our memory very viciously. In order to create real change, it is dependent on every one of us, regardless of our race, our agenda, sexual orientation, and political beliefs, to work collaboratively together in common goals. So here, in 2021, I am hopeful that you will all join me in exercising our rights as citizens of democracy to pass crucial legislation that will protect Asian Americans from further discriminations and better secure the continual vitality of our community. There is no simple answer how to do this, and the fight to improve our lives and the community at large will be a tough one. But there are some common sense actions that we can all take right now. First, we must address the safety of our community. We need to see the full extent of these hate crime statistics. As we know, API populations tend to underreport crimes committed against them. It is crucial that we secure additional resources to reach out to our most vulnerable populations so that we can get a full understanding of what the crime situation actually looks like. We must take conscientious effort to reach out to Asian Americans, especially our seniors and our most vulnerable, who may not speak English as their first language, to ensure all these crimes are reported and investigated. Secondly, we must address the economic toll that discrimination has had on our community since the COVID-19 pandemic. We must invest and help lift our API small businesses, many of which have been unfairly affected by the xenophobia and the racism that has caused patrons to avoid their businesses. Recent data have shown that Asian Americans are mostly affected by economic recessions due to our prevalence in the industry such as food and services. And our current economic downturns will affect our economy even more due to the continuation of the discriminations. In fact, here in San Mateo County, our API community faces the highest unemployment rate amongst all ethnic groups since the pandemic. Families here are scared of what the future will hold for them. No one should have to face an uncertain financial future because of their ethnicity. Lastly, we must ensure greater awareness of these issues in the mainstream consciousness and our halls of power. I am committed to work with Senator Becker, who's here with us today, and the entire California legislature who have been working on the Assembly Bill AB 28, and this will bring expansions of the definitions of hate crime. It will give greater justice to victims of crimes that they feel were directly motivated by some type of animus. I'm also working with other organizations to bring forth cell phone application that will make it easier and more expedited reporting of these hate crimes. These are important first steps on a long road ahead towards ending discriminations and senseless violence in our state. The work begins here today, but this is only the beginning. In that spirit, I am proud to announce that we are hosting another rally and a march on May 15th in collaboration with our Papa, who is also with us today. Thank you very much for joining us. We will be coinciding with another national event on that same day at 11 o'clock, right here in Millbrae, in these very steps. Just like today, the Asian American community, our allies, students, city, state, and county officials, they all have come together to create actionable changes. The city of Millbrae, Burlingame, San Carlos, and San Mateo would all be participating. I, along with my colleagues, invite every city in San Mateo County to participate and support all of us at this event. My name is Fong, and I can assure you, and I promise you, we will not stop working for you until you all feel safe again. Now, I have the honor today to introduce our very special guest who joined this city of Millbrae today, representing the state of California. Someone who has been dedicating her life towards equality, justice, and service to others. And according to her, this is her family business. Our Lieutenant Governor, Eleni Kounalakis. Thank you so very much, Lieutenant Governor, for standing shoulder to shoulder with all of us today. Without further ado, I give you our Lieutenant Governor, please.
Thank you, Councilman Anders. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today to stand together, shoulder to shoulder, to stop Asian hate, to stop discrimination, to stop violence against our communities. Thank you. Councilman Anders, Fong, you have done a very important thing in bringing us all together. And I also want to thank my friend, one of my lifelong best friends in the world, your Councilwoman, Gina Pappin, for also inviting me. Now, I know Millbrae because I know Gina. And over so many years, she brought me down here to walk with her, to walk in your neighborhoods, to knock on your doors, and to introduce her and to campaign for her when she ran to represent you. So first, I want to thank you for continuing to send her back to the City Council. But secondly, I want to tell you a little bit about our story as Greek Americans. Because when our parents and our grandparents came to the United States, it was not so hospitable for them. There were communities that said no Greeks can come here. There were jobs that said no Greeks can work here. Now, so many years later, that is beyond for our community. Mostly because they stopped, Greeks didn't come as often to the United States. But when we look at the United States of America, our history of our country is this story of immigrants coming to America and making this the greatest country in the world. The Asian American community in the United States and here in California is the backbone of our beautiful country and our beautiful state. And in no place in the United States is it more true in California. This is the story that we must tell our neighbors, our friends, our parents, our grandparents, and our children. Right now, there are about 5.5 million people of Asian Pacific Islander descent here in California. 5.8 million of us. That's about 15% of our community. And guess what? California is the state in the country where people are drawn. People want to come here because we have a culture that is enriched by immigration, and we have an economy that is built on the fact that the best and the brightest in the world want to come here. In California, 27% of us are immigrants. 27% of Californians were born outside of the country. So if you are an immigrant, if you have an accent, stand proud, because you are one of 4 of us in this state, and we are the greatest state in the country. Now, there are a couple of very specific things that the state is doing right now because this is a very difficult time and we take it seriously. And, you know, this has to be beyond partisanship. But we just put in our rearview mirror a president who was stirring up hatred in our country, who was telling us, if you're different from someone else, you should blame those people for anything that's not making you happy in your life. Thankfully, that person was not reelected, and we have a president in Joe Biden. We have a vice president, California's own daughter, the daughter of immigrants, herself an Asian Pacific Islander, Kamala Harris as our vice president, showing the world what diversity looks like in the United States of America. And in our state, and Senator Becker, are you speaking as well this morning? I think he's probably also going to talk a little bit about this. But up in Sacramento, we know that this is a challenge, and we are not going to stand for it. So our legislature in the state level is working every day to bring support, to bring help, and to bring the kinds of laws that will ensure that our communities, that your communities, that our communities in our beautiful state of California are safe and able to continue to pursue the California dream, shoulder to shoulder with this great, big, diverse, exceptional, extraordinary society that makes up California, the biggest state in the union and the 5th largest economy in the world. So, fear not. We will stand together, we will fight this, and we will continue to strive to make a better state and a better country for all of our families and all of our children. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis. Another round of applause, please. We're truly lucky to have such a strong leader in our state. We are truly blessed. Thank you so much again. Now I'd like to introduce our State Senator Josh Becker. Welcome, Senator, please.
Thank you all. First of all, what a treat and an honor to have our Lieutenant Governor, Eleni Kounalakis. Thank you again. It's a great honor to have her at this event. Shows the importance. I want to thank the Council Member Fong. I want to thank Mayor Schneider, Vice Mayor Aliba, Council Members Pappen and Holliber, and all the elected officials, our Board of Supervisors President David Canapa, I see David Pine, other elected officials here and honored from our region. So give them all a round of applause. I'm here to do 3 things. The first one is to say that hate has no place in our community. So this is a rally and we have an amazing turnout today. I want to do a quick chant. So I wanted them to hear this all across the city, all the way up to San Francisco, all the way down the peninsula. We're going to say love over hate, okay? We're going to say it 4 times, love over hate. Everybody ready for this? Okay, ready. 1, 2, 3. Love over hate. Love over hate. Love over hate. Love over hate. Thank you. Hate has absolutely no place in our community. The second thing is we are stronger when we stand together. We are stronger when we stand together. And as a member of the Jewish community, and I appreciate the Lieutenant Governor talking about her family history, as a member of the Jewish community, I know what it's like to be part of a community that's been a victim of hate, a victim of violence, and people stood with us. Many of you stood with us. Many of these elected officials stood with us. And that showed me again, we are all stronger when we stand together. And that's why I'm here. That's why all our electeds are here. We all stand together with our API community here today. We're stronger together. Thank you. The last thing is to echo something that Councilmember Fong said. Now is the time for action. These rallies are awesome. They're amazing. The solidarity is tremendous. I get energized. But now is the time for action. He talked about AB 28. That's one of the things we're working on now. But we have to work at the state level, as Lieutenant Governor said, and here at the local level to work to make sure we take tangible measures to make sure this never happens again. I convened a gathering of local leaders with some of our local police chiefs. Councilmember Fong was part of that. And we did a listening session. We talked about what can we do. And it wasn't just us coming up with ideas. We really heard from the community members and we heard from the chiefs. What are they doing in the communities to make sure this does not happen, to make sure that this is not tolerated? And we're now working on a larger package. Assemblyman Chu from San Francisco, my colleague in the state senator, in the state senate, Richard Pan, to work on a more comprehensive hate crimes package. So that's the last thing I want to leave you with. The time for action is now, and it's up for us to do what we're doing at the state level, and for you to keep doing what you are doing at the local level. Speak up, let your voices be heard. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Becker. We appreciate your time and thank you for being here. Can we get one more love over hate for Senator Becker on 3? 1, 2, 3. Love over hate! Love over hate! Love over hate! Love over hate! Thank you, thank you. Next, we have our very own San Mateo Board of Supervisors President David Canapa, my very good friend and your tireless leader looking to affect change in our community. Welcome.
Great. Thank you so much, Anthony. And first of all, let me say I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I want to thank Anders. I want to recognize my colleague, Dave Pine. Give him a round of applause for sponsoring legislation with us. And I want to recognize our sheriff, one of the best sheriffs in the state of California. Thank you, Sheriff Polanos, the mayor, the council. Today is a day of celebration. When I say celebration, it's to celebrate our community coming together. And make no mistake about it, we're here today to make sure that when hate crime is committed in San Mateo County, that it will not be tolerated. And that is why Supervisor Pine and I authored legislation that made San Mateo County an anti-hate zone. So whether you're a Muslim, whether you're Jewish, whether you're Latino, whether you're black, in this community, through policy and legislation, whether you live in Daly City, whether you live in Menlo Park, North Fair Oaks, we will not tolerate and we will prosecute to the highest extent of the law. There is no reason that our elderly should be pushed behind or should be abused. That's not a value that we accept. That's a value we push against, and we make sure everyone understands that that is not acceptable. And so these are about voices that need to be heard. These are about voices that the government, prosecutors, as well as the sheriff, we take seriously here in San Mateo County. So I want to say, Doche Sai, I want to say thank you, and I want to wish you all the best. Doche Sai, thank you.
Again, that was San Mateo Board of Supervisors President David Canapa. Thank you. Our next speaker is someone that has been personally affected by the violence that we are all uniting against. Her name is Wendy, and she is here to share her story. Wendy, please join me on stage with translating.
各位好，你好。我嚟到美國就住喺屋崙華埠。去年年尾，寧靜嘅生活被打破咗，連我自己都唔敢相信，我竟然喺1個月之內，連續俾人打劫咗3次。 唔單止自己身心受傷，我嘅遭遇仲連累咗我嘅家人朋友，令佢哋好擔心。而我自己呢，嚇到都唔敢出聲。出街呢，有人陪住我都係心慌慌嘅。今年年初喺華埠罪案發生嘅最高峰嘅時期，大家都唔敢出嚟，有人甚至叫華埠係鬼城。呢個時候，雖然商家同埋社區嘅人都好驚，但係為咗挽救呢個局面，佢哋依然好勇敢咁企出嚟。佢哋自己出錢，自發組織咗第一個嘅屋崙華埠義工巡邏隊。從今年2月開始巡邏，一直到現在。呢啲着住藍色背心嘅就係呢個巡邏隊嘅代表喺呢度。佢哋嘅團結，佢哋嘅勇敢嘅表現，令我產生咗好強烈嘅意識。我唔想再成為受害者，我要好似佢哋一樣做一個保護者。好多謝我哋嘅隊長鄺維先生俾咗我加入呢個巡邏隊。藍背心隊仲同其他唔同嘅族裔一起合作，一起維護我哋嘅華埠治安。而家居民出嚟都感覺到輕鬆好多，其他市民亦都係紛紛返嚟辦事、消費、探親。涓涓細流匯江海，點點星光點亮銀河。儘管我係一個人聲音少，冇力量，但係大家團結就係力量。多謝所有屋崙嘅義工巡邏隊，呢度藍隊，呢度係橙隊，多謝大家。
Okay, my name is Carl Chan, President of the Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce. I'll try to keep this very short in the translation. So first of all, her name is Wendy. So Wendy, believe it or not, from last year, she was robbed, not one time, but 3 times in 1 month. So not only that, she's afraid herself and afraid to go out and impacting the entire family, impacting her psychologically a lot. So with those happening, and even in Oakland, Chinatown, I believe not only Oakland, but also San Francisco, that we became what we call the ghost town because people are afraid to even come to Oakland, Chinatown, and people don't want to come here at all. However, when all this happening within our community, we are forming what we call the volunteer patrol group. So Venti has decided joining the group together and starting in the beginning of February. So start marching. The reason why? She does not want to be the victim anymore. She wants to be the protector of our community. And definitely, again, I want to thank, our council member, Anders Fong, allowing us to be here and talking about, what she wants to do. However, at the end, what she really wants us to do, by herself, a small voice. Together, when we're united, we are one major voice. So let's give ourselves a big hand.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Wendy. That was truly an incredible story. We will hear from our amazing speakers after the march because now it is time for action. It is time for us to take our voices to the streets. today we have amazing student volunteers, activists, organizers. Anjali, Lillian, and Leanna from Mills High School. They're going to be helping us out, and they're going to be teaching us the chants that we will be using during the march.
All right, guys, we're going to be taking you through the main chant that we're doing today. Stop Asian hate. 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 And then we're gonna, Asian hate. Stop Asian hate. Stop Asian hate. Okay, there's 2 more chants we want to do today. I'm going to ask you a question and we're going to respond back. Where do we belong? We belong here. 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 Do you want to start this? What do we do over hate? Love over hate. What do we do over hate? Love over hate. What do we do over hate? Love over hate. That's it. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, we are going to get our march started. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to exit, please, banner. Okay. Councilmember Anders Fong is going to be leading with the banner out in front. If we can clear a path down Magnolia, we invite all the elected officials, invited guests, guests of honor, sponsors to please join behind the banner, Anders Fong. We are going to be marching down Magnolia, down to Broadway, El Camino, and coming back here where we will have the second part of the rally. Be sure to come back and we will hear from our incredible speakers.
Just keep filing over this way, please.
Any chance? Are you? Oh, MCTV. Oh my God. Oh, Sarah. Are you? Sarah. So this is Grace and Mary and Zoe, and they're from Asian Uplift, and they were looking to connect with Anne. Oh, awesome. They were supposed to connect with Anne. I haven't done that. Oh, Anne's over there. Okay. Running the camera.
So he's going to be right before the shark.
My name is Grace. I'm a junior, and I basically spent my entire spring break planning a Unite with Asians rally at the San Mateo City Hall, along with the help of Claire, Zong, Simran, and a few other amazing people. So what we wanted to do was to denounce the horrific hate crimes afflicting the Asian community, and a place where we could discuss the future of this kind of movement and how to grasp onto this momentum. I feel so privileged to have been a part of this, and that was definitely my favorite part of spring break.
Asian Uplift is a youth-led nonprofit organization that aims to empower Asian communities, inform on Asian-related topics, and just empower Asian activism and service Asian communities. Our nation's past is rooted in oppression so deep that we can barely unearth its seeds. America's long history of scapegoating Asians showcases this. And while today's videos shift from an Asian man getting pushed down the subway in New York to Asian women being shot to death in Atlanta, the same story persists.
We are defying these stereotypes today because we are using our voices, that we are not silent and we are not submissive. We have seen too much violence, but today we are stronger together because it is a testament that in unity we will heal. We will stand up and fight against the hate.
So, you know, for me, like when you say the students are the future, they're the future now. They are the leaders now, and that's why I mentioned that. They are leading the way, and we know that through many movements, students are really the catalyst and the heart.
I'm here because in May I was assaulted in our neighborhood. I think that this is an opportunity for the whole country to really be aware of.
And that's amazing, you know. It's very inspiring to a lot of youth out there, you know, try to put everything together, bring everybody together as a unity, and it's really powerful, you know. It's a good thing that we have to stand up and come together to speak up, because that's the only way our message get across.
It's been truly such an incredible experience to be organizing this rally and to see this huge outpouring of support and to see so many people who care come out. It means the absolute world, and I'm so happy.
Hey, my name is Jia. I just want today show some solidarity with my Asian community. Right now, it's a tough time for everybody, especially after, we're still in this pandemic. So the best way we can combat the hate is to stick together, have this solidarity, in the unity that, that's the only way we can cure everything, right? Don't fight hate with hate, fight hate with love, all right?
We're ready.
All good? All good? All right, thank you.
Stop over hate!
Stop over hate!
Stop over hate!
Stop over hate!
Stop
Thank you.
Will the speakers join us on stage? That will be Supervisor Dave Pine, Toysan Association President Ma, Sheriff Carlos Polanos, President of Chinatown Chamber of Commerce Carl Chan, San Mateo API Caucus and former council member Wayne Lee. Will Lillian Chang come to the stage, please? All right, welcome back. What an amazing march. Give yourself a round of applause. Yeah. Amazing, amazing job. And as promised, we do have an amazing lineup of speakers coming up. And it is headlined by our own Supervisor, Dave Pine. Supervisors, please join me on stage.
All right, what a march, what a rally. An incredibly impressive show of solidarity for our Asian Pacific American community. You know, this march is what San Mateo County is all about. You know, it's about all kinds of people from all different races, all different backgrounds, you know, coming together behind a common cause. In our county, we are just an incredibly diverse place to live. We're one of the most diverse counties in all of the United States. We're about 39% Caucasian, 31% Asian. 31% of our population is Asian descent, and 24% Hispanic. And amazingly, 1 out of 3 of the residents in this county were born abroad. So we cherish our diversity. For us, diversity is a strength, and we strive to make our communities places of safety and inclusiveness. So these recent incidents of physical and verbal assault against our API community are just so alarming. You know, we would think it could not happen here. We could think it would not happen in San Mateo County, but it has. And it is completely unacceptable. In San Mateo County, there's no place for hate crimes. In San Mateo County, there's no place for racial stigmatization. In San Mateo County, there's no place for racism or discrimination of any kind. So today we show our resolve to build a more equitable and inclusive San Mateo County. Each of you who have participated today has sent the message that we can do better, that we must do better. With the COVID pandemic and all the economic disruption, this is a time for unity. It is not a time for division. This is a time for love, not for hate. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Pine. Can we have another round of applause for Supervisor Pine? Next, we have our title sponsor, the East Bay Toy Sun Association's president, Major Lam Xinzang Jujic, and his translator, Jennifer.
I'm going to give a brief introduction for Mr. Ma in English. So in addition to the blue vest in Oakland, Chinatown, we also have the orange vest, which is the East Bay Toy Sun Association. And Mr. Ma, he's 76 years old and he patrols every day in Chinatown, and he's been doing it since March 2020. This man, 6 years ago, when he was 70 years old, ran into a burning building to save somebody. So he is not afraid of anything. So I'm gonna let him say a few words, and I'm gonna translate for him.
各位官員，在場嘅女士們、先生們，大家中午好。
Hi, he's like, how's everybody doing?
今日係團結社區制止歧視嘅集會遊行。
So today we had a peaceful rally where everybody from different communities in this district and across the bay came together.
我哋屋崙市義工隊同埋社安隊兩個隊伍今日都嚟參加呢個集會。
So our Oakland volunteer patrol team is both from the Toy Sun Association and the Blue Vest has come together to participate in this rally.
女士們、先生們，我哋大家知道，我哋嘅美國係一個移民嘅國家。喺呢個美國嘅大地上，除咗印第安人之後，所有嘅族裔都係移民，係咪啊？
Ladies and gentlemen, we must understand that in America, we are a country of immigrants. Besides Native Americans, all of us are immigrants.
我哋所有嘅族裔都要團結，團結就唔係錯。
Okay, all ethnicities and backgrounds, let's come together in unity. Come together in unity for love.
我哋所有嘅族裔都要形成一個和諧嘅社會、團結嘅社會，大家喺呢度安安樂樂生活。
All ethnicities and backgrounds must come together in a harmonious society where we can come together in peace and love.
喺我哋美利堅合眾國之內，亞裔人有2000多萬。 喺我哋加州，我哋亞裔人有500多萬。我哋嘅祖祖輩輩，我哋嘅年青人喺呢個美國嘅大地上，無論是過去或者現在，為美國做出好大嘅貢獻。
So in California alone, we have 5.8 million Asian Americans. And in America, I think it's 200 million? Huh? 380.
我哋亞裔，特別係我哋嘅華人，喺呢度已經超過180多年到200年嘅歷史。
In America, Asian Americans have contributed a lot to our history and to this society. Just Chinese Americans alone have been here at least 180 to 200 years.
無論是生我哋美國嘅鐵路，或者喺金山淘金，我哋嘅族裔 為美國流咗好多嘅血汗，貢獻非常之大。
Whether it's building the railroads or digging for gold in California, our community has poured a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this community, into this country.
我哋一個偉大嘅族裔，應該係受到尊重。
We are a very brave people. We should be respected.
但係今天喺我哋整個美國、加州、整個舊金山灣區，甚至整個周邊嘅城市，歧視亞裔、仇視亞裔、暴力罪行頻頻出現。
But instead of getting respect in Alameda, in California, in our Chinatowns, in our Asian communities, we have been experiencing discrimination, racism, physical violence even.
我哋得唔到尊重，仲反而受歧視，我哋係絕對不能接受嘅。
We will not accept this discrimination. We will not accept this violence.
尊敬嘅女士們、先生們，我哋大家要齊心協力，站出嚟。
Ladies and gentlemen, let's come together in unity.
喺目前仇視暴行頻頻出現嘅時刻，我哋一定要團結，把啲仇視犯罪一直要打佢落去，不獲全勝，決不收兵。
In the face of violence and discrimination, we will not stand down. We are going to come together and we are going to stand up and fight back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, that was the East Bay Toisana Association President Ma. Next, I want to welcome our very own Sheriff Carlos Polanos. Welcome, Sheriff.
Thank you very much, and thank all of you for being here today. I want to first thank Councilmember Fong for inviting me. Thank you so much. It warms my heart to see so many of you here in your uniforms protecting your communities, because that's what law enforcement needs, is people like you working with us in partnership to keep you safe. So I commend you. I have a couple messages for you. The first one is, only by working together, communities and law enforcement, can we keep our communities safe. And that is, we need you to help us do our job. Thank you. The other thing I want to tell you, I'm the sheriff of San Mateo County. In San Mateo County, as the supervisors said earlier, hate crimes are not tolerated. In San Mateo County, if you commit a crime, there are consequences. If somebody comes to San Mateo County, commits a hate crime against our Asian brothers and sisters or anyone else, they will go to jail and they will pay the consequences for it. I'm very proud to stand with all of these elected officials. Want to point out my colleague, our own District Attorney, Steve Wagstaff. I'm not going to talk about any other county, but I'll talk about ours. If you come to San Mateo County and you commit a crime, there will be consequences. We will give you every opportunity to rehabilitate yourself, to get forgiveness. But if you can't do that, then you will go to jail. We will watch over you, and we will do everything we can to keep our community safe. The Asian community has been very supportive of law enforcement, and I want you to know that law enforcement is very supportive of you, and we are here for you. Thank you very much for letting me speak today.
Thank you, Sheriff. All I can say is I'm glad you're on our side. Another round of applause, please, for the sheriff.
Next, we have our Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce President Carl Chan. Carl has been an active supporter of this cause, and we welcome him to the stage.
Well, let's give Anthony a big hand. He's the one also, is a great MC here. Well, my name is Carl Chan, President of the Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce. I'm also the chair for the APAPA, Greater Oakland Chapter. And APAPA stands for Asian Pacific Islander American Public Affairs Association. It's a long name. But anyway, like council member mentioned earlier, on May 15, there will be a national rally, and it's going to be taking place not only here, San Francisco, Oakland, but the entire country. So that's going to be a big rally that we want you to be here. Now, many people know that, I myself, I love, dim sum in Oakland, but also in San Francisco, Chinatown. But there's a place I love very much, is actually in Millbrae, because there are many good restaurants, great dim sum, best of all, our good friends here. So, and definitely, let's get a big hand to Millbrae. Many of us are facing the pandemics, but for us, the Asian American, we're facing something more different. And with this toxic rhetoric, demonizing our AAPI community, we're facing another serious pandemic, and which we must fight against it. So today, we're here to support what Council Member Fong has called for. So that's the reason why we're here. So everyone from the entire Bay Area, especially in Oakland, you look at all this blue vest, orange vest, and all of you from all over, let's give yourself a big hand. The march, the message is loud and clear. The march is to break down the barrier and making positive changes so that all of us, not only our seniors, so anyone can walk down the street, feel safe. So that is the whole message. So this is the reason why we have this rally. Now, since we have many elected officials here, I want to focus more on you and what you can do for us. And definitely, can you see the sign? I want to raise up that no on SB 82. Let's see the big sign there. The reason why I want to point it out, right now there are many issues impacting our AAPI community. So we don't need any kind of this kind of measure, and which is actually allowing many of these perpetrators come and go. They will be captured the same day and released. If not the same day, it could be the next morning, and that cannot be done. So I'm so glad that this county and a sheriff make sure that if you're committing crime in this county, you will be caught and you'll be prosecuted. But we want to make sure that all the other counties will follow suit. So let's give a big hand to this one county, and they have done a great job for our sheriff and also the district attorney offices. Lastly, I just want to say this. I want to keep it short. What we want to do, in order to make changes, it's not about fighting this and saying all these things and rally. What we need to do, we got to have our Asian voices together. So that means we all have to register and we have to vote. So for this national rally, I want to make sure that you yourself and going home and tell everyone, making sure that you will register and vote, because we are here to make those changes. So at the end, I want to say this. Nothing can divide us. We must unite, because we are the United States of America.
Thank you so much, President Chan. Now, next one, I believe almost needs no introduction here in Millbrae. He is the San Mateo PI Caucus President and former council member of Millbrae, Wayne Lee.
Thank you, Anthony. So about a month ago, Anders came up to me and said, we got to do something. I was like, yeah, that's a good idea, Anders. Why don't you do something? So Anders goes, we got to have a rally. I was like, that's a great idea, Anders. You put together a rally, because you can do a lot better than I can. What do you think? Excellent. Good job. And I also want to thank the committee, because they worked pretty hard. Let's see. I have Darren Soon, Anthony Leong worked very hard, Will Chan, Herman Pang, thank you, Carl, for you didn't even live here. You helped out. Margaret, of course. Let's see, Billy. Billy, thank you, Bill. Billy Polanos. Anyway, okay. So they said, I think they want me to move on in the program. Okay, so as you know, I was the former mayor and council member in Millbrae. And now I'm the president of the Asian Pacific Islander Caucus, and that means that I represent the former electeds and elected Asians in this county. It's my honor to be their president. And they've worked really hard to fight this. I'd like to introduce you. Anders Fong is on our board. Mayor Jesslyn Manalo is on our board. And Jeff G. from Redwood City was on our board. He's around here somewhere. Our organization accepts anybody. So if you want to visit us at smcapi.org, we are going to do some training. So if you're interested in becoming a commissioner or future elected, we are going to do training this summer. So come to our website, smcapi.org, to get more information. Okay, so let me start. A long time ago, there was a migration from Africa. That migration went through Middle East, and then went to Asia, and then went to Alaska, then went to Americas. So I think that we belong here. What do you think? We belong here. 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 Absolutely. Let me recite a quick poem inspired by Martin Neil Mueller. First they came for the black minister, and I did not speak up. Then they came for the Latin doctor. I did not speak up. Then they came for me, an elderly white professor, and nobody was left to speak for me. So I want you to do this. When I say, what can we do? I want you to say, stand up and speak out. Let's try that twice. Stand up and speak out. Stand up and speak out. Very good. Okay, I'm going to ask a few questions, and I want you to, when I say, again, what can we do about it? When somebody tells you to go back to where you come from and calls you a virus, call somebody a virus, what do we do? Stand up and speak out. Stand up and speak out. When somebody paints swastikas on your schools, on your places of worship, on houses, what can we do? Stand up and speak out. Stand up and speak out. When our leader says nothing and does nothing to stop bullying or racism, what are we going to do? Stand up and speak out. Stand up and speak out. When our elderly are attacked, what are we going to do? Stand up and speak out. Stand up and speak out. Now, a killer went in Atlanta, killed 4 women, and then drove another 21 miles to another Asian place and killed 2 more Asian women. They said the killer was having a bad day. They said it's not against Asians because white people died. They also said they never mind that this person drove 21 miles to go to this place. He could have stopped by any adult entertainment place with that 21 miles, but he decided to go that place. So what are we going to say about that? Speak up and stand up. Stand up and speak out. Okay, so I'm angry, I'm frustrated, and I'm fearful. Fearful that our country is spiraling down, losing stability, common sense, and we're being divided. I'm going to ask you, how do you feel? I told you how I feel. So when I say 1, 2, 3, I want you to say, at loudest voice you can, how you feel. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Okay. So this is the country my father fought for, and many of you, your families fought for. The only way we're going to save this country is by what we've been saying all day. What have we been saying all day? Love over hate. Love over hate. Love over hate. Now, don't confuse love as weakness. Love is not a weakness. When I was a child in middle school, I was only one Asian Chinese person in that school. A white kid was having a bad day, and he decided to beat up on me. He bloodied my nose, and had no reason to beat up on me except that he was frustrated. The school didn't check up on me afterwards. They said, "Oh, go to the bathroom and clean it up." They didn't send somebody to check on me. They didn't do anything afterwards. Because why? Because I was an Asian, and I'm probably because I stand out, so I deserved it. So you know what I did? I took vengeance on a system. A vengeance on a system that disrespects women. A vengeance on a system that doesn't allow people to move up. The place that makes other cultures and races fight against other races and culture. Now, I'm going to say that just because we can't speak good English does not make us stupid. We are smart. We know what we're doing. That's why we're speaking up. This system we have to fight because they're making our Asian women as sex objects, fetishes, exotic. That cannot be stand for. Do you agree? So, the only way we can do this is love over hate, because that's what Martin Luther King says. The only way that hate can be destroyed is through the light of love. So this is what I'm suggesting that you may do to change the way the culture is. We need to go and meet other cultures. We have to go and help other cultures. Go to black communities. Go and meet your brothers. Meet them and see and help them out of their financial situation. Volunteer. Volunteer there. Demand that our schools teach ethnic studies in a meaningful way. Get out of your comfort zone. Okay, so the last thing that Carl said is very, very important. The only way the politicians are going to listen to you is if you vote. You vote, nobody knows what you're voting for, but they know you voted. So now they're going to have to pay attention to you. The Asians are the one vote that can change this country. Asians are the one vote that can change this country, and it's statistically right. If you vote, I guarantee your life will change. Everybody votes, your life will change. So go out there and vote. Vote for your safety, vote for your parents' safety, vote for your kids. Because this hate will not go on. Because you have love in your soul of your heart. Love over hate. Love over hate. Love over hate. God bless everybody.
Thank you so much, Wayne. I am registered to vote. Are the rest of you? Great to hear that. Next up, we have our education advocate, Joy Passamante Henry. Welcome to the stage, Joy.
Salamat siang. Konnichiwa. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joy. Like many of you, my 3 daughters are the center of my world. They are the reason I am here today. Their ancestors were traders from China, Spanish conquistadors, the Malays of the Philippine Islands. They were farmers from the Mexican town of Guanajuato, and they were among the last slaves in the state of Texas. Like many of you, I am saddened, angry, and disappointed by the violence that has erupted in our country and here in the Bay Area against our Asian sisters and brothers. We are a strong people. We have the ability to adapt. We are centered around family and community. Although we cannot rewrite history, we must come together as Asians with our allies to demand change for every single person of color. Until all people feel safe, until all people get the same access to resources, until all people are celebrated for their differences versus feared or hated, our children will inherit a broken humanity. Regardless of how difficult it is, regardless of how much red tape exists, education must be inclusive. It must be a right, not a privilege. It must represent every single one of us. We must allocate more resources to mental health services and a system which focuses on reform versus punishment. The debates must be replaced with action so that we do not have to read about yet another mass shooting or a child being shot point blank. Let's get past the discussion and take the action we need to stop the hate, stop the violence, and bring humanity back to our lives. For our children, let us roll up our sleeves and change a system which has been broken for far too long. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I've been told that Asian Uplift is also here. Thank you, Asian Uplift from San Mateo. Thank you so much. You guys do a great job. All right. So next up, we have a student advocate, student activist, also an organizer of this event. She has been pouring her heart and soul into this, and now we'd like to welcome Lillian Chang.
I'm gonna have my mask on. Thank you for that introduction, Anthony. My name is Lillian Chang. I am a daughter of Chinese immigrants. I'm an Asian American woman and a high school senior in Millbrae, a member of this beautiful community. And I'm proud to say that. It's great to see that there are so many different generations here today, as we are all here to fight and demand for a better future, a safer place for our elderly, equity in our workplaces, and school environments free of hate for our children. Like you all, I am frustrated, I am angered, and I am saddened by the recent hate crimes that have targeted the Asian community. This is why I'm here today and not settling for silence. I remember when I was younger and a woman yelled a racial slur at me and my parents while we were walking on the street, telling us to go back to China. I remember my parents quickly grabbing me to pull my hand away from conflict, away from confrontation. They said, "Don't make a fuss. Don't cause a scene. These things happen." I understand that they wanted to protect me, to shield me. However, this is a mentality that needs to change. Silence and complacency do not bring about progress. We are not your model minority. We will be loud and clear. Stop Asian hate! It was not a bad day. It was blatant racial targeting, and we will call it out. We need to dismantle an oppressive system, and it starts with the community. Coming together, supporting movements across racial groups, whether it be Black Lives Matter or Stop Asian Hate. We need to empathize with others over our shared struggles. Minorities should not be pitted against each other. Together we can combat oppressive narratives. Asians are not a virus. Latinx people are not illegal. Black people are not threats. Indigenous people are not savages. Hate is not and will never be an American value. We need to unite in action and stand in solidarity. I'm glad that we've discussed policies and immediate steps we can take here today. There needs to be reform in all sectors, from our history books to the justice system. I'm so grateful for this grassroots team in Millbrae, and especially the efforts of the Millbrae Anti-Racist Coalition. This is only the beginning of our work, and to see everyone here today gives me hope for our future. One more time, stop Asian hate! Stop Asian hate! Thank you.
Amazing. Let's give everyone, all the young people up here, a round of applause.
Thank you, Lillian. At this point, I would like to bring back our lead organizer, Council Member Anders Fong, back to the podium.
You know, I just cannot be more moved and more encouraged and more touched. Look at this. This is a group of people. It's not about the elected today. It's not about the official. It's about each and every single one of you. This is about us protecting the community, the whole community coming together. We've got seniors marching with us. We've got community members that we need to protect. And most importantly, we've got our next generation of leadership. Look at it right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the people that give us hope. These are the people why we do what we do. And I want to tell each and every one of you, we will not stop working for you and keep you safe until you feel safe again. I want to thank everyone who will come out today, and not only that, I want to thank everyone who has worked to bring this event to all of us today. I'd like to thank Grace, who has put together this last event in San Mateo. Did an excellent job there, and we're going to count on you to help us plan our next event on May 15th. I'd like to thank Anthony Liang, who's our moderator today. He spent countless days and weeks planning this event out, and all the way down to the T. I cannot be more proud. We got Billy Polina in the audience somewhere. Billy, where did you go? Show yourself. This is the man who put all this together. He is our lead organizer. And I'd like to thank the senator again one more time. Thank you so much, Josh. I got Gina Pepper right here, our council member. And I got the district attorney. I got it. Don't worry, I got it. I got Mr. Stephen Wagstaff, and I also got Jocelyn Manalo from Bay City. Mayor Manalo, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to thank Will Chen, who has been helping us throughout this entire event. Is in there somewhere? Thank you. Raise your hand. Thank you so very much. I got Wayne right here, Wayne Lee. Millbrae owes you a great deal of gratitude for the last 13 years of public service. We're all so lucky to have you, and we want to bring you back. And then we also have, I thought I saw Michael Brownrigg in here somewhere a little earlier, but Michael Brownrigg is another council member from Burlingame, a neighboring city. And we're going to be marching to his city on May 15th. Don't everybody forget about it. We're going to do it again. May 15th, don't forget. We will not stop until, what again? We feel safe again. I also like to thank Mayor Schneider, who's in the audience today. Thank you so very much for joining us and supporting us throughout. Also, our Port Commissioner, Ms. Virginia Corrali. Thank you for joining us today, standing unity with the AAPI communities, another AAPI leader, fine leaders for our county. So with that, I'd like to thank everybody, and I'd like to open up the mic for whoever want to come up and speak and give your perspective. So anyone who wants to speak, we've got another 10, 20 minutes right here. So people can line up and get 30 seconds at a mic. I'd like to thank everyone for coming here today. Anyone want to speak? Just line right up. Okay, we got a hand right here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My name is Benny Lee. I'm a former council member from the city of San Leandro, and I work for the county of San Mateo. When you go to the downtown, you can see free public Wi-Fi, so enjoy that. And I want to tell you, right, in San Leandro, I live in Huron Bay. Why is that significant? Because last year, there was a message that went on to almost every single door in my community. It says, Chinese get out. And that was that news went nationwide. One of the things that we did was we contacted our police, we contacted our homeowners association, and immediately the person was arrested 2 days later. And it's because we activated, we worked hard, right? And because we had a lot of folks who were concerned. And today they are still concerned. The only way that we can stop this is that we have to engage with our public elected leaders and also with our police department. They're here to serve you. You are all taxpayers. You pay for all these different services. You want to make sure that you make a difference with your community? Do exactly what Carl Chan said. Register to vote. Do you know your friends who have not registered to vote? have them register to vote, because your vote can change a community. And also, call your police. Work together with them, because they will work to make it safer for you. I'm standing here today because I work for the county of San Mateo, but we work for the people of the world. We're here to make sure that we keep everybody safe, but we're also here to make sure that we make our community the best ever. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I just want to say thank you to everyone being here, and for Councilmember Anders Fong for putting this together. What he did mention was, look at how beautiful this is. We have intergenerational support with one another. We have the elders, we have the young people. Look how to the very young people that are here standing up saying, you know what, this has to stop. And why we're here together, it's because it's for the future. We want to make sure that their children don't have to stand up and have to fight against xenophobia, the sexism, the misogyny that has transpired. So it's only through unity will we get through this. And it's only through togetherness can we all strive together. So right now, I think the common goal is about love. Love, courage, and bravery is what I see here today. And that we will continue to fight to make sure no one else gets hurt in our communities. Thank you so much. And we will love, not hate, because today we showed what love is all about.
Hello, my name is Brian Zhang, and this year I am 13. I am a minor. But to me that does not matter, because our concept for this protest is love over hate. Our concept for this rally is love over hate, and that we need to stand up and speak out no matter what race we are and no matter how old we are. And that everyone here knows that we are here because of what is happening recently. Of the thousands of cases of reported violence and racist slurs against the Asian American community. And that throughout history, we've seen all kinds of anti-racist acts. We've seen segregation, we've seen anti-Semitism, and we've seen the Chinese Exclusion Act. But that we cannot rewrite history, and yet we need to keep moving forward. And what I want to say today is that I hope that everyone here has the goal that we need to fight. We need to fight hate. We need to fight racism. We need to fight violence and love over hate. That we need to stand up and speak out.
My name is Grace, and I'm the director of Asian Uplift. I'm so proud to be here today, and I'm so happy to see the outpouring of passion and anger and enthusiasm. Yet, we need to do more than stand in solidarity. We need change, and change is a process, not an event. So what can we do beyond come out here today? For anyone whose voice has been drowned out beneath the chorus of lies and degradation, I ask that you tell your story loud. The grating beauty of your accent. Report on the slurs you hear, the shoves they throw. Have those hard conversations. Call your senators to expand voter rights, demand easier registration, transparency into the actions of officials. More resources to our community. We as Asians are the fastest growing minority in the U.S. electorate, so let's give our vote to leaders who care. And don't let this momentum fizzle out, because we have just started. Thank you.
My name is Samantha Tran. I am 12 years old and I am Vietnamese American. And I would like to thank everyone for being here. So I would like to share my opinion about this movement. So I would like to say that it really doesn't matter what age you are. Like, everyone here, I think everyone here has experienced some sort of racism against them. Okay. So last year in March, during school, I realized that people had started ignoring me. And I really didn't think anything of it because I didn't have that much friends. But then people started calling me bad names like Ching Chong, coronavirus. And one day during lunch, me and my friend were hanging out, and this guy came up to us and started calling us a bunch of slurs. At that moment, I didn't know what to do because at this point, I couldn't really do anything because it was during school. So I would just like to say, if you can, please raise your voice. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing all your wonderful speeches today. I believe this is it for Open Mic. Once again, thank you for everyone coming out in support of our rally, of our march, and supporting each other. This now concludes our rally. Thank you so much. And we thank you, all of you, for showing up today. Once again, I am Anthony Lowe, and I thank you all, you beautiful people, for coming out. Thank you.
My name is Vincent Zhang. We are from the Oakland, Chinatown, East Western Toyson Association. And President Ma, say something.
因為今日咧係一個我哋華人啊，呢個社區團結，反對仇視，所以我哋從呢個Oakland Chinatown 過嚟呢度，呢啲穿呢個同我個衣服一樣嗰啲啊，所有嘅咁今日咧嘅整個集會、整個遊行好群眾性，官方都嚟參加，我哋覺得呢個係一個成功嘅集會。
We present our local Chinatown Oakland. We established the first community Panchala in Oakland, Chinatown. Today, we support in Oakland to create this protest, Stop Asian Hate. So we all the member over here, we bring over 200 people right here, showing we are united. We are not violent. We need making locals safe, make American great again. Thank you.
So my message today is that together we'll get through this, and really it's through unity. We've seen a beautiful showing intergenerationally from the very young to the old, and that we're going to continue to stand up, speak out, and not be silent.
Okay, so I'm Grace from Asian Uplift, and all of us here, 3 of us are here today from Asian Uplift, and we're so happy and so proud to have been a part of this, to just see the incredible crowd, the chanting, the passion, and the anger. And I just think that it's incredible that we're grasping onto this momentum and that we're realizing that our work doesn't end here. And we're just so grateful to see the amount of people who care. And we are so excited to keep fighting for this cause.
Hello, my name is Zong. I use they, them pronouns. I'm the co-founder along with Grace and another member, Claire Shintani. She's not here today, but she's here with us in spirit. And please visit AsianUplift.org for more information regarding Asian-related topics.
I'm Mary. I also go by they, them pronouns. I'm from Millbrae, and I'm also from AsianUplift.org, and I'm hoping that we can get more applicants and more people on our team. We want to do everything that we can as students to uplift our community.
Perfect, you guys. That was super good.
So this was a great rally today. Thankful for all the people who put it on and came out. I think one thing that makes me sad, though, is still all these killings that we're seeing. And we got to remember all those folks who actually passed away. Let me flip to the back side so you can see. We need to remember these people. And there's so much work still needed on eliminating systemic racism and finding out the truth and expanding history and being able to tell our stories. And I hope the May 15th event is going to be broader, have a broader rainbow coalition.